Hi, welcome to the presentation, the Human Avatar Part 3. This presentation is the Human Avatar Electromagnetic Being charged by liquid electric gold equals light body activation along with light interaction. Right, so we'll start this particular presentation. Hopefully try and lead it into the last one. Right, so first off, we'll just start by saying that all is number. This is Pythagoras. You can see here. So what we're claiming is all is number. In actual fact, these are the 7 heavenly bodies. Yeah, and then obviously what they have here is they've got the sun in the middle. But what you find is that we're looking at 7 of them. Yeah. So we're looking at a 7. Yeah. 7 again is a vital key number. 7 is the number of cleanliness at the same time too. Now with pH balance, when we enter into this realm, what happens is we enter in a perfect state as our core essence, and that balance works out at around 7.35, so to speak, in terms of your pH balance. Yeah, which actually sits at the 0, but we'll get there. Right. So to start this presentation, yeah, we're going to go straight into the light. Yeah, speak a lot about the red light and the blue light, but the red light and the blue light, yeah, you can see here, they are actually within us. The way in which that we see this blue light, yeah, it's about light interaction again. So what actually happens is the only reason that we can see the blue, it's down to wavelengths. Now, what happens is that as the light, it penetrates this skin. So it's actually the blue light has 400 nanometers. The red light is 720. Yeah, but it's the blue light that makes it back. It is the blue light that makes it back first. Yeah, to the eyes. And the reason that happens is because the blue, even though the blue, yeah, is so to speak the lesser light, it doesn't take up so much of the spectrum. The red always comes off the spectrum first. Yeah, but your blue is divine, supremely divine. So your blue is always coming up here because your blue is your mother. So your blue will always going to be the first one straight off the bat. Is the actual blue light. So I've written something down about that, which we'll try and cover. Yeah, but that blue light, like I say, it's when the eyes, as we come through with our eyes pick up the blue light. The blue light makes its way back first, yeah, before the red light, and that is the reason why we can see. The only reason why that we see blue veins. So we see red and blue, we see the blue because the blue light comes back first. But why does that happen? Because blue, you see, blue is bulge. So if you're going to blow a fire, so blow, yeah? And that's what the blue is. And the blue also symbolizes the left. So if you see here in a flower and a plant is also working in the same way as we do in terms of the avatar. But you see with the plants, you see the blue light here. The blue light will grow the plant from its root. The green, here we've got the light mixed with the chlorophyll. Yeah. So what happens is the chlorophyll, yeah, we get the light and the core of the chlorophyll are aroused by each other. Yeah. They are aroused, they are sexually aroused by each other. And then what happens is they're merging and they're meeting. That actually brings forth the electron. Even an electron, the way an electron will work, the electron works very, very similar to the avatar. When the electron bumps into a packet of light, what happens is that the electron picks up energy drastically. Yeah. And then as soon as that energy disappears, then what happens is that electron actually drops back down again. So the electron is also excited by the light also. it's also excited by the exact same light. That is, so just as the same way as the avatar, yeah, is aroused by light, yeah, because this is what happens when light enters our system. It travels between the spaces of the cells, and what happens is it excites all our molecules, and then what happens is we become excited, yeah, and then we are filled with this energetic, blissful feeling. And what I've been looking for, which is what it states here, so oxygenated blood is bright red, right? Like that, which is bright red. There, it's direct connection to red and blue, right? Red and blue light, yeah. The light has to penetrate the skin, right, to illuminate it, right? But the blue and red wavelengths, right, penetrate, 66, as we say, and they penetrate with different varying degrees of success. But like I've just been saying, it is always the blue light that makes its way back to our eyes first. Always that blue light, because that blue light, which is what I've just been saying, yeah, it bulges, yeah, it bulges up towards the blue sky. So the blue light grows things, yeah, it expands things, right, and it does that through action. It does that through action, yeah, right. So that action, yeah, is also coming from the blue sky. So you can see here, and then an ion. I'm hoping you can see that board from there. Yeah. So then the actual ion itself, the word ion was created by Michael Faraday. Yeah. Faraday was working with electromagnetism. Faraday is what tells us that the magnetic field is dielectric field. Yeah. So the ion, which you can see here, the ion here, yeah, is stemming from the word action, yeah, and it's so this action here is partly coming from the light of the sun, yeah, but it's the blue light of the sun, yeah, which triggers this organic light, which triggers the melanopsin, yeah. Once that then triggers the melanopsin, yeah, that will then trigger within the light sensor. You see, so then what happens is the avatar then has a light sensor, and that light sensor, yeah, right, which works in here in 96, which again we will be speaking about. So we're working between sun and moon. We're working between day and night. So it's all sun and moon. Yeah. So what we're doing is we are working with this organic template, this organic realm. Yeah. The avatar is aligned with it. So you can see, obviously, like you can see there, you can see that it's going straight. We're going straight from sun and moon. But there's a direct connection here, and this direct connection here is coming straight down into here, this is 96. 96, yeah. We got sun 6, because you see the sun is O, which is here, right? So the sun is O. So Solomon, yeah, with his talons of gold for the sun. But the sun is, the O is the 15th letter of the alphabet, and then the 1 + 5 is 6. So here what we have is 666, and that's why O is always symbolized for the sun also. But then O, you see her son, the sun, yeah, is the son of its mother. Yeah, she is also the O. She's also the 0. Yeah, and then she's also going to be, yeah, that this serpent. Yeah, so she is going to be creating, right, that this perfect O here, this Ouroboros that you see here. And this is, you see the woman here is representing the mother, yeah? So this is the circle of creation, yeah? This is this flow. This here is a magnetic flow, which is what we need to do, is to flow, yeah? But speaking of flow, we've not been able to flow correctly, right? Some of the things that we're going to be speaking about in this presentation, and then obviously it will go on to the next one because it can never fit it all in. Right. So we're going to speak about redshift, the downwards energy and its workings. We'll speak about blue shift and then light interaction. Then we'll go into the other things also. Right. So flow. This same symbol, which you see, we'd have seen before, is a snake eating itself. It's a perfect great flow. So here is a cycle of life. Now, what's actually happening with the avatar, you can see here on this field here, right? So that flow that I was speaking about is here because what is supposed to happen is energy, magnetic energy comes down here, down, right? This redshift energy, right? It's the energy supposed to come down and then radiate. See, red is red for radiate, right? This energy, right, is a transverse energy, right? It's a transverse electrical lower energy, right? That has two poles, yeah? So you have your red and your blue. The red and the blue are interchangeable. They also symbolize left, blue left, yeah, and right. That's what they symbolize also. So they don't just symbolize, they are working with everything. So and the reason that you will see the red and the blue will always be prominent in our existence because it's representing, and it is the material energy of this material plane. So it's a lower form of energy, yeah. It's non-spiritual and it's working in linear time. So it's based on your material, physicality, yeah. All things physical, all things are electrical, yeah. Right. So they have an electrical nature, but it's a lower form of electricity, yeah. It's not a higher form of electricity that we're working with. We're working with low form electricity. And the reason that we're working that lower form is because, again, it's dualistic in its nature. Yeah. So what it's doing is it's actually going from red, going from redshift to blue. All the time. Yeah. So it's shifting. So what's happening is one day we're having a good day, next day we're having a bad day. Right. So this radiated energy, you can see, so we've got this pyramid here. You can see here this upward pyramid, 60-degree angle. So 6 plus 6. So 6, 6, 6. R is the 8th letter of the alphabet, as I've said many times before. That breaks down into 6, 6, 6. Yeah. This pyramid, yeah. Once it's activated correctly, it should be pyro. Pyramid is fire, means fire, which is fire in the middle. So we should have a fiery halo glow, inspiration, and this energy should be flowing, poof, and it should be radiating outwards. And that energy is supposed to radiate, yeah. And you could name that with acidity, and that energy should come radiating outwards as a radiating energy, yeah. Providing that happens, so at 6 o'clock in the morning, how does that energy radiate? Because what happens is, you see, at 6 o'clock in the morning, at 6 a.m., yeah, just looking for the right slide for it, may not have it out. The blood pressure, I have the actual slide for it, but I don't have it here at this minute. The blood pressure, yeah, what happens is from 6 a.m., as soon as the sun here, the second that the white sun, the conscious sun, rises, yeah, the first ray off the spectrum, right, is always going to be this red light. The red light is always going to be the first one to break. Yeah, and that's at break at 720. Yeah, by the time it peaks at 720. 7 plus 2 is the 9. Yeah, 7 plus 2 is the 9. So, yeah, and then what happened before that, when it breaks, it comes out at 6. When it's at 660, yeah, it increases testosterone within the avatar. I also believe that it will work with male and female masculine. So I'd be saying that testosterone, estrogen, all of these things are stimulated by this light. Guess what? It's why is it stimulating your lower region? It's stimulating this lower redshift region. Down here is where you've got your electrical, your neutral, all your electrons, etc., are in this area, right? What happens? This downwards energy, yeah. There is a lot of energy that resides in this redshift area, yeah. A lot of fiery energy, which can be inverted and used incorrectly. But people, it's not known. It should be spoken about in schools, etc. But we haven't done. So this is why now we are raising awareness of this redshift energy and what can happen if it becomes stagnated and it is not allowed to flow. Yeah, magnetism must flow. You see, magnetism is force in motion. Yeah, you've got inertia and that's inertia and acceleration, but it's force in motion. So, right. So we've said this before. So with the red light, it then at 6 a.m. in the morning. What the red light does, like I'm saying, it radiates. So what does it do? It gets the blood pressure. It increases it from 6 a.m. in the morning to radiate oxygen and nutrients around the system so that you can reach your maximum potential is what red light will do. And then what it will also do is stimulate the tissues to grow, yeah, and supercharges your mitochondria to then uptake electricity. Yeah, that's what red light is what it does. That's how the red light actually works with the avatar, and it starts off in your lower sexual region. That's how it starts up, and it starts doing that from 6 a.m. in the morning. Is how it works. So now, moving forward a little bit. So here we can see where you've got the lower redshift. So what's happening here? Radiation. If stagnated, becomes masculine dominance. Yeah. Lustful self-gratification. Right. How does it become? Why is that the case? Yeah, because this electrical energy, it comes dropping down here. Yeah, and then what it does, yeah, is it rests here in your solar plexus area, but in this lower region, yeah, in actual fact, they say that the mother, she comes down and then she's in a rage, finds herself in a fiery, stormy rage. So she goes and hides in a cave, yeah, away from yourself, which is the lower animal, right? And this is what happens. So she's here. What happens is, as I was saying, redshift and blue shift are interchangeable, right? Now, the blue shift energy, the divine mother, blue shift energy, you can see here. Now, you can see she's dropping downwards. This is a yoni inverting, coming down. Why is that? Because you see the energy in the toroidal field, yeah? What's actually happening with that energy is this. It's converging. It's going to radiate. It's always going to radiate here. When we come out here, we're going to radiate. It's always going to radiate outwards. But here it's converging. So that energy will always converge here. Like a yoni. So it's converging in. That energy is going to come in. Yeah? So this divine energy here will come down and drop into. Yeah? And that energy then will come down and then drop into the center, and then this will then continue flow all the way around. So you've got radiating, redshift, and then converging, coming in. Yeah, you've got your blue shift energy. That's going to be coming in. So then, if we are unaware of this state here, so this state then is 6. So 666, yeah, is the unenlightened 666 is us in our unenlightened state. This is who we are, right? Now, any stagnation in this lower redshift area, right, it will trigger a lustful, egotistical, self-gratifying, sense gratification, even self-harming energy. That's what it does. Because what happens is you are feeding your lower energy. So you are entangled in your lower animal carnal natures. This is the lower portion of the avatar. This is the lower animal carnal self. Yeah, and it is electrical. It is an electrical energy. So even the sight, sense, smell, etc. For example, things get wasted here, and things are ruined here on this earth based on our sight. If it doesn't look how we think it looks, sometimes with consumerism, etc., it's driven by this redshift, and it's self-gratification. Yeah. So therefore, it's about feeding the senses, feeding sense gratification. So what you are doing is you are just feeding your taste buds and so on and so forth, feeding your lustful, whatever it may be. And it doesn't have to be sex. We could be talking about greed here. You see, what's happening is this. That's what you have, a positive charge and a negative charge. Yeah. Emotions, they are also electromagnetic. Right. So I just wanted to explain, they teach in schools, for example, they say that masturbation is good for you. They tell you that you should be doing it, and it's something that you're meant to be doing. Right. So I just want to just read a bit of this. So it says, I've written covering masturbation downwards. Right. Anyway, a pentagram could be used. I don't have this symbol here at the minute, but usually I could use a pentagram, right, which has got, you see the pentagram, what it will do is that the pentagram is you, because the pentagram is the man, right? So it will have on the pentagram, it will always show, it's always going to show yeah, we can't use the one that I like to use to start. It's just not coming up on it. It's precise amount of time. But the pentagram is always going to show. You can see So we just look at any one of these, pretty much that one there. So you can see 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head. Yeah, and the head. So converging in on the head here this is the ether. But you see here, these would be the red and the blue. These would be the red and this is how they have the red and the blue. But the energy, yeah, is coming downwards here, right? People speak about an energy rising upwards. That's fact. We're only speaking about energy, the real workings of energy at this precise moment anyway. But in actual fact, this energy is a 2-way system. So you can also see on the man here, he has an electrical, what he has, it's a 3-way system, it's a trinity. Yeah, because remember that, you see, Trinity plus Trinity will always lead to infinity. If I take a number 3 and a number 3, and I spin them around the other way around and I put them together, I will get an 8. And that 8 is infinity. And that infinity is the movement of this field. As this field moves like this, it moves in this infinity symbol. Is how it moves. Yeah. So if this downwards energy, if the energy is inverted and the energy is going only downwards, then it will become dualistic. It will stay dualistic. These are the 2 dualistic legs, red and blue, red and blue, red and blue. Yeah. And that energy will become dualistic and it will stay that way. Yeah. And what happens is, as that energy is inverted, right, we are literally working with like a fiery, endless pit that just demands your attention constantly. It demands demands that you continually feed this fuel, this fire, yeah, with more lustful activity. So I just want to explain and show how this downwards energy works. It affects most are in redshift, yeah, at varying different degrees. Yeah. So it says, historically, compulsive masturbation has been included in paraphilia related disorders, yeah, which also include protracted promiscuity, dependence on pornography, yeah, telephone sex, dependence, severe sexual desire incompatibility, and ego, yeah, dystonic, persistent use of sexual accessories such as drugs. Right, drugs. So what's actually happening there now is that you see, it leads, what redshift does is it leads from one act, one lustful act straight onto another. That is how it works. Yeah. You're talking about your base energy. You're talking about a base here. Yeah. You're working with the lowest form of electrical energy, which is red. So the red is symbolic of the earth. The red is symbolic of the actual earth. Yeah. We're going to get into this in a minute. So the red is here. This is the earth here. And then guess what? So then this is the ether here. So when I was showing on the pentagram, the top, I said the top was the ether converging in, yeah, was the ether. And then that ether converging in, it's there. So let me just get another pen. So the ether converging inwards. Yeah. So ether converging inwards is blue shift. Here, with the sound of hum, yeah? And ether and earth, which we'll be speaking about, again, are interchangeable, right? Interchangeable. So earth, we're dealing with the lower animal, the lower earthly animal carnal self, yeah? That is what we are actually working with. That is what we are dealing with, yeah? So it then goes on to say, so then we're talking about the use of masturbation then leads to the use of drugs, amyl nitrate, cocaine, objects, etc., dildos, used specifically in association with sexual behavior. According to one study, compulsive masturbation was significantly associated with other paraphilia-related disorders, and it was the most common form of sexual release over the lifetime. Yeah. So what's actually happening is that because we are working with, in this redshift, we are working with lower emotions. Lower emotions we're working with, yeah. Low emotions, yeah, we're talking jealousy, anger, rage, greed, etc. So you are relieving oneself, we are relieving the self, yeah, of the lower emotions that we are entangled within. Because what we're speaking about, when we are speaking about bioelectric field tuning, yeah, and what happens is the lower emotions, they sit within your field. They sit within the actual field here. They stay inside of this field. They don't go anywhere, and it is these emotions that shorten the lifespan of the avatar. They ruin the avatar. Energy and abuse of energy, all is magnetism. Even companies, you see the companies, the banks, etc. Yeah, they have egregores and sigils. They have egregores and so forth. So that the bank becomes an entity. It's an entity. Yeah. It also has a magnetic field. All energy works in this way. As you abuse that energy by abusing others, yeah, what happens is, in the end, you become depleted, and magnetism fails you, because magnetism is the only thing that's keeping things going. Magnetism will then fail, whatever it may be, that institution, and so on and so forth, and it will fall down. Yeah, even though it may appear as though it's infinite, it will fall down. And we are inside of a massive magnetic field. So nature, yeah, has a reset mechanism instilled within it, just natural. Yeah, and what happens is it wipes everything out and it just starts all over again. Yeah, because you are not in alignment with the causes of good. So you see, these lower emotions through biofield tuning also, it creates riotous, you see, it's creating a sound. So the organs, when we do biotuning, they can be heard. If they have been disrupted, or there's any negativity surrounding them, if you are suffering and didn't realize it, you could pick it up with the biotuning fork and it'll pick up the sounds and make sharp sounds within your field. Yeah, it picks them up. Right. So we'll just go back into this here. Right. So it then goes on to say, in general, it is more prevalent in men. Right. Compulsive masturbation, protracted promiscuity, and severe sexual desire incompatibility. You see, because man has testosterone, etc., but we don't know how. You see, once the male is aligned purely with redshift and it's stagnated and in masculine dominance, he is lacking in empathy and flow. He's lacking in all of these things. He doesn't have a release. He's only working with the white conscious sunlight. When you are only working with that white conscious sunlight, when you are only working with the white light, you are only working with action. Like I said here, action. You're only working with action. Because you're only working with action, you don't have any stillness. And because you don't have any stillness, right? You will suffer. You'll be very, very weak. And the noise, this noise, is depleting your magnetic field. Just the noise on its own. The noise is the riotous living. It creates noise. Riotous living, rage, anger, acidity, drinking alcohol. All of these things are riotous living. That's what they are. And then the thing is this. It then goes on to tell us in here that drugs helpful for treating compulsive masturbation. Lithium, buspirone, antidepressants, selective serotonin they will give you. That the negative ion, once it hits your bloodstream, automatically releases the hormone serotonin. But the negative ion, is connected to blue shift activity. It's connected to blue shift activity. Blue shift activity are your negative charge virtues. I will be speaking and going to go to religion is put in place, but it's about the workings. It's about the hiding the inner workings of electromagnetic energy, the workings of that within the avatar. But we didn't want to align with it because we want to be selfish, you see, because it means that if we align with these natural laws inherent to nature that are aligned with our electromagnetic self, it means that we cannot adopt selfish behaviors. It means that we have to love thy neighbor, we have to have patience, we have to have humility, sacrifice, chastity, all of these things, but we don't. We want to climb on top and have sex, get a little feeling, fall back off, have something to eat, go to sleep, wake up, bush bash, straight out the next day, and the clock. We're working with Saturn, So you're working with the sun, you're working with the sun, you work with lower six, so you're working with Saturn. So as I was just reading through this here, you could clearly see how how it leads. This masturbation grows. That's why they always say to people, if you take one drug, it leads on to another. Growing up, you look at it, well, it's done that for me. It does do that for beings because you are working with this downwards kunda buffer energy. You are sending that energy, and the energy drops downwards. The electrical servant energy drops downwards. You are not rising it up. It is falling down and then becoming stagnated in your lower region. So that is why your heel is heel. Heel is hell. Heel is hell. It's the lower region. That's hell on earth. So you're then creating your own. What you're doing then is creating your own hell on earth. So then here, I was saying Your mother, she resides in redshift, and she's coiled up 3.5 turns. This serpent here, serpent energy, she's coiled up in 3.5 turns. That's what she is. Yeah, but she has to be risen up and stuff. See how Moses got the risen up and the stuff. They were trying to tell you this. This is what they're trying to. That's why that serpent is coiled up. They've got him. Look, if you can see, he's coiled up, and they've got him all on that stuff there. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, because if you command the serpent, if you allow the serpent to activate and command it through correct living, yeah, through correct living, through truthful living, yeah, yeah, then what will happen is you become a supreme being, a superhero. Yeah. So you see, she's wearing a red dress. This is Mama Amma. Mama Amma. We'll be speaking about Amma, Mama, Ma. Yeah. Emma is 3, and 3 plus the 3, which you create 6, 3, 3, 3, and would give you, yeah. This is the internet. It's the Ethernet. www. That is 9. 9. The magnetic field is this magnetic field is based on 90-degree angles, and we're talking about an ether. She is the wave. Either whether, yeah, either way, she's going to get you, because you see the ether is everywhere. It's either way, and the word either, yeah, derives from, so you've got either, whether, and it's ether, yeah, which comes from Old English, is where it derives from. But her, if you say either, we're talking about her. Mother, H-E-R, father, H-E-R, sister, H-E-R, brother, H-E-R, yeah, ether, yeah, is H-E-R. You can find these words, yeah. And then even in then earth is got, you know, you got H-A-R, but they're interchangeable. They're interchangeable. Even water is feminine, yeah. So all of these words relate to mother, brother, sister, father, ether, yeah, are all, because these are all coming out of, you're coming out of the womb, yeah. You're speaking about life, creation of life, and she is the womb of creation. So you see, etymology, the words are enabled after her. So even in this, the word either derives from Old English, egg her, yeah, her, ether. So they're telling you, what we're saying to you is that the ether, her, is your divine mother, and she, it's feminine force, yeah. So that is what we're saying. Now she resides, you see here, she's residing here, look, in the red dress. Red dress. Dress contains red. Red is inside of the red dress. Now you see what happens is Rudolph, you see Little Red Riding Hood, or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is RRR, but Little Red Riding Hood, yeah, again, little, Lilith, L is the L. L is the light, and L represents the blue, yeah, because L is the 12th letter, yeah, and then the 12 divided into 66. The light breaks through the prism. The light breaks through the prism and manifests the lower electromagnetic spectrum at 66%. 66%. Yeah. So, what am I saying? I'm telling you that you see the Phoenician knew this, what I'm speaking about. And what they did is they altered everything, altered things to suit. Yeah. To suit the unbalanced order that was being created, yeah, by putting Saturn at the top here, because you see Saturn is then time. Jupiter is space and abundance, but Saturn is time. So then what's happening is, yeah, so that 6, yeah, so then they are using the electromagnetic spectrum, you see, so this is the I. Yeah, the first alphabet, always make sure that you see that the I was the 7th letter, or was the 16th, which is the 1 plus 6, which is the 7 again. Yeah, which is the 7th letter. Yeah, but then they are using, by doing that, what you are doing is you are using a cube, because then you see Saturn is the hexagram, yeah, which is a cube, which is why we are talking 66. And then the Mason uses the G here, the G, which is the grand architect. This G is the grand architect, but the G is the 7th letter, yeah, and 7 is the number of cleanliness, but 7 also represents the electromagnetic spectrum, yeah, and then that is then governed by Saturn, yeah, in a side of a cube. If you open up a cube, you will get a man. You will get a human. Same as with the pentagram. But the cube is 6 sides, yeah. That 6 sides of that cube will then give you a man, yeah, which is this. So they're using the Saturn. Saturn is being used to create a false light trap, using this lower electromagnetic spectrum to do it, yeah. And through that electromagnetic spectrum, we are only able to detect visible light, yeah. The light behind that, the white light behind that, isn't based in duality, yeah, isn't based in time. So the white light behind that, yeah, is constant. So when you see, if we've got up and down here, yeah, you see you've got up and down. This is the transverse wave, and then you see here, this is your mother here. She's constant. She here is the plane of the, she's sitting in the center 0 point here. It's the unmanifest. Time doesn't, there is no need for time in that scenario. Yeah, time is only based on that transverse wave of electricity. Only based upon that. Yeah, and nothing other than that. Yeah. So which is what we're saying. So what we're saying is that we are encased within, yeah, we have been encased within this false light trap, which is governed by Saturn, and it's using time. Saturn is time. So we are governed by restriction. You are being restricted by that order of play. That order of play is then restricted more from what you want to be doing. Yeah. And then so then in order to do that, the cube is then being used to do it. And you have here so I was just saying that Little Red Riding Hood, that story is selfish desire. All stories, in actual fact, in this realm that we are in, the realm that we've been in this Saturnian realm, you see, governed by those, so like these Phoenicians, etc., yeah, who were worshipping Saturn and restriction, yeah, would sacrifice children towards, yeah, to the demiurge. Yeah, that's how they work it, right? Because you're talking about electrical energy here, voltage, yeah, electrical energies. Outside of this is plasma, which is atoms and ions, yeah. It's we're talking about the highest forms of magneto dielectricity, and so on and so forth. Now, and plasma is purple. The Phoenicians wore purple, the royalty wore purple, but you wouldn't have been allowed to wear it, and the royalty were, and you wouldn't have been allowed to take part in child sacrifice. Only they were allowed to do that as the royalty because of who they are and what they are, yeah, as demons. Anyway, so right, so what's actually happening? What is actually happening is this. Little Red Riding Hood is a little girl, yeah, who gets deceived by a wolf. The wolf goes back and eats her nan, eats her grandparent. And in actual fact, in some of the stories, he actually feeds some of the grandparent to the child. Yeah. So it's flesh eating, isn't it? It's lower flesh eating, and she's being deceived. Yeah, and she's having her sort of her honesty taken away. And the wolf actually represents not a wolf, but he represents a man who is aligned with this lower lustful energy, redshift. And in the time that Little Red Riding Hood was created, you would have had a lot of redshift activity, because on that timeline, yeah, we are venerating Saturnalia. We are always venerating. We call it Christmas. You're always venerating around the 25th December, because what you're doing, you see, is that you're working with and you're venerating some of these entities here, some of this here. What you're working with is the goat of Mendes. Even since, if we go all the way back to Sumeria is one of the first civilizations that we know of recorded, created agriculture and so on and so forth. Yeah, built massive cities, highly advanced civilization. Yeah, but also had the same goat. This goat, it was half goat, half fish at that point. This is the goat of Mendes. Yeah. Right, which is a goat. Yeah. Now, even around Christmas, so the goat is phallic worship. You're worshipping Pan, and the Yule log was kept out for 12 days. Yeah. I got the 12 apiece. Remember the 12? The blue light. The blue is 12, and 12 is light, liberation, Lord, learn lyrics. So yeah, this what they would do is they kept the Yule log out for 12 days to keep it burning. That Yule log represents the phallic. It represents an erect penis. Even if we go all the way back, even if I was to go all the way back as far as here, Min. Min, the moon is known as Min. Yeah? Yeah. So also here, right, pre-dynastic Egypt, there was a king god named as Min. You can't see him in here. You can't see him here. Yeah, right. You can't see him correctly. But he's what he's doing. He's very authoritative as a ruler. Yeah, very authoritative as a ruler. I'm just going to search something at the same time. Yeah, he's very authoritative ruler, and he also actually looks like there was another ruler that started off the New World Order. Do you see these people here, these so-called gods here, started off this realm, this imbalance here. Yeah, this is phallic. It's rise erection. This is phallic imbalance, masculine dominance. Yeah, and it has been in place for a very, very, very long duration. Yeah. And what it's doing is you see a child and its mother. They have taken the mother out of the equation. The mother is the gardening, vegan-based societies that we used to live in. The nature, yeah, the earth, magnetism, your spirituality, your intuition, yeah, your creativity, your loving, your love, all of these things, your nurturing, yeah, are the mother. You can't go and kill an animal when you've got those traits inside of you. You can't do it. You can't even eat it. You just can't do it. That's who you are. Yeah. But that when I use entities such as Pan, you see, then Pan is a goat god. I don't have the image of Pan here, but in actual fact, I do have the image of Pan, because you see that's Pan anyway. What you call as the Baphomet anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Which is Pan. Yeah. And he's showing you there as above, so below. Anyway, and this is an hermaphrodite androgen. Yeah. And so he's using masculine and feminine. He's depicting masculine and feminine traits within him. But you see, Pan, the horns represent horny. Yeah, horny. You see, Michael Jackson uses your horny, right? Yeah, and he's putting it down by his groin, wasn't he, Michael Jackson? Do down by his groin. Yeah, these people know what they're doing. They're occultists, right? And they're working with particular certain energies. Yep. Certain downwards muscle energies. So here, as we were saying, that there, you can just see here, it's got there's a 1 and 5 here, and what I've done is I've written it in even clearer so you can see it. So it's telling you that's the 6. You see, the man and the woman, they're chained up to their lower emotions. They're chained up to Pan. They're chained up to him because they constantly are feeding him, yeah, through the lower emotions, through their lustful activities, through their wrongful sex, through their indulgence of cooked foods. Which, what do the cooked foods do? They sit heavily and way down low and create stagnation in the field, because they don't carry enough negative action. They don't carry enough negative charge of blue light. Doesn't have it. You know it don't have it. You know it doesn't have the blue light because it's there. This is red and blue shift again. It doesn't. You don't have that charge. So now go track. Yeah. So the goat of Mendes, yeah, is Capricorn, right? So the goat represents, yeah, your lower emotion, your lower carnal nature, your lower carnal state. By putting Saturn into play, you are being restricted, and then those are in charge of this particular realm. It suits their needs and their benefits, because you are dealing with black, you're dealing with Kronos, you're dealing with the crown, and that's able to create restriction, and then that's able to create authoritarian background society, and it's keeping you in time to the beat of the drum. Yeah, so they are using the electromagnetic spectrum here to create time. Yeah, see this transfer, this wave here, yeah, it's creating the illusion of time. It doesn't really exist like that. If I was to sat here all day and somebody wasn't creating restriction, because what has been done with time is order has been created. Order in the court, yeah, and in the court, yeah, bows down to the crown. The crown is Kronos anyway, yeah. So, yeah, so it's telling you what somebody's doing for you is ordering your day to day, and then they are using this seven again, yeah, and they are using that same seven to put us in. Unfortunately, using then Saturn as the chief over and Lord chief of that at the top. It should be the moon, should be at the top, should be the way around. Saturn at the top to govern that, based on the inner side of a cube. So when Monday comes, which was the other day, Monday, is with the moon. These are interchangeable, sun and moon. The magnetic, so the moon 9, sun 6, interchangeable. Dielectricity, magnetism. Dielectricity is rest, reset, rest. That rest is an energy that you don't know about, that we didn't know about up until now, Action is movement. It's a movement, conscious movement. But rest, reset, is a force. Is a force that can be drawn upon, and it can be, and that force contains the most amount of power within rest and reset. And also, rest and reset takes place in all scenarios. This is a subtle realm. So I'll give you an example. On a Monday, for example, they make Monday the day that you have got up, and Sunday was the day of rest. It's the wrong way around. Yeah. So Monday, because we're living in an inversion. On Monday, that is the reason why people don't feel right about Mondays. Some people, I don't want to have Monday off, because it is your rest day. It's the moon day. The moon, we're talking about resting. Through that rest, we are then able to trigger higher states of consciousness. Through that rest is what happens. So when I go over to here, you see, I'll show you, when we go over to this one, on the rest, we go back into rest. We see these are real scientific studies that have taken place. I think I've probably shown this one before. Yeah, so sleep promotes the ability to come up with novel solutions to complex problems. Yeah, but we don't get enough rest. We are not able to get enough rest. If you are, those that sleep get the correct rest is a marker for perfect health, because your mother is the way. Again, how do I know that? Because you see these sleep studies, this one, for example, when we put deep sleep here, now sound is magnetic. Sound is magnetism also, yeah, magnetic oscillation. So you see here, when we are using this, when we get in this deep sleep, you see the big long waves. This is when you're in your deepest sleep. So your delta is where you're at. And at that point there, that is where you are getting your deepest sleep. When they introduce sound, yeah, it was, I can't play it now, but it's just, yeah, the waves become longer and the sleep is deeper, even deeper. The more we sleep, the more we are entangled with our etheric body. As the physical body sleeps, the etheric body levitates above that. The deeper that the physical body goes into sleep, the more we're able to tune in to magnetism. When we are sleeping, the only reason the avatar is able to get away with the things it does while it's in this lower redshift, all the nasty, all the horrible things that we do, I've done them as well. We do them. Yeah, you're eating animals, all types, drinking alcohol, all these things, shouting, screaming, all these things that you are doing, yeah, are having a negative, they're having the same negative impacts on the field, right? So just touching on that. So this sound, physics, sound is magnetic, resonance and entrainment. So once we introduce sound, whilst we're on this deep sleep, then the individual is allowed to actually access an even deeper level of sleep, yeah, and the rejuvenation process is able to maximize itself even further to the point where what you see with the way that this one works, we've not been spoken about, it's expansion, not just you getting healthy, expansion. So what happens is the more you are able to align with our mother, the more we learn the ways in which our avatar works and the way that magnetism and electricity work, the more that we are able to access the higher states of being when we wake up. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, yeah, blue light drops down a little bit and then we are supposed to sleep. That's why, so in Spain, they have a siesta. Once 5 o'clock arises, yeah, what happens is then, once 5 o'clock arises, is that there is another burst of energy before we're getting ready to switch over, yeah, through the hypothalamus, SCN, super triasmatic, Ra, sun, yeah, this light sensor, yeah, that is within us. Again, once the melatonin is around, it is telling us that there should be no noise. Noise is movement within, but we see ourselves as external to the realm. External, many see themselves as external to themselves. That's why they look at urine and you think that urine is nasty in some way, because you see yourself somehow as external to the inner workings of your body, or you think that you see subconsciously yourself is telling you that you are dirty. You're not unclean. You're unclean. That's why you can't drink your urine. You definitely can't drink your aged urine. And again, this is how the mother works, you see. Yeah? Things that don't taste good to you are of great benefit to you. Again, because it's not coming from you in your lower carnal state. The realm doesn't change, yeah? The realm doesn't just alter. The realm is always there for us. It is ourselves that has to rise up and rise in consciousness and align ourselves correct with that which serves us correctly. So aligning with Saturn in this lower redshift alignment here isn't going to do that for us yet. Even so, I was just saying, so Little Red Riding Hood, yeah, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer symbolize this lower redshift activity, and so do many of the others as well. I think there's one, the original story of might be Cinderella or Snow White, where the sisters are jealous of her. They're jealous, and the mum tells them to chop off bits of their feet, see if they can get their foot inside of her shoe. They can't get in, but they're jealous. What's jealousy? Noise coming from your field, creating negativity, creating negative magnetic fields within your own field is what it's doing. It's actually going to create negative magnetic fields inside your field. Now, so then, Father Christmas, which is Odin, and then we are using, you know, your German god Odin, and then the Greek, the German god Good, yeah. Our beings, like I was talking about earlier, was talking about I was speaking earlier about this gentleman here, about Min, and Min is this one here. You could just see him there. Min here, you see he's holding up this thing. He's got his thing. He's holding it up there like that. And if I go, so I mean, I have the other slides here. I want to see if I could just quickly show this. I did put one down here. Could be used potentially. Yeah. There we go. There we go. And this is the shield of Nama. You might not be able to see this. So this is the first king of Egypt. And what he did is he united Upper and Lower Egypt. You can't see that properly. Upper and Lower Egypt, yeah, to create one new world order, Nama. And he's doing exactly the same thing. You can't quite see him. Well, you can just see him standing there. He's holding a figure. He's holding a hammer, and he's going to slam it down on this man's head here. There's a man on the floor here, and Nama's going to slam that down onto his head here. And Nama is the king. So the king uses his phallic to put himself in position of power, puts himself in the way of the mother, yeah, which is this electric wave, this electric wave womb that we are encased within. She governs all things, and her laws rule, yeah, yeah, and they stand him in her light and in her way, and use her power to deceive yourself, us, and to use to, you know, as a way to divert power away from the mother, yeah. You're using leverage to divert that power away, and it's the same thing with the symbols. So the symbols, Masonic symbols, etc., are used against us to create a power. That's the word I was looking for. To create a power differential. Yeah. So at the moment, you are worshiping kings and queens that are sitting overlays on your chakras. It's Apollo. It's that's what they do. Yeah. They find ways of which they can use your supreme godliness, yeah, in order so that you can worship them, but they have to keep you in this lower redshift, because in this, well, whilst you are stagnated and the toroidal flow isn't flowing, there is no way of you accessing any higher state of being. So you'll never ever know who you are. So it says here, Min, a pre-dynastic god depicted in feathers, wings, plumes, and an erect penis. Yeah, yeah. Because they're always horny. So Jesus, you see, always had the crown of thorns. He was horny, yeah. And the goat gods that we've been speaking about, all these goat gods that we speak about, which is your Pan, etc. You'll find them as half man, half goat in many occasions, symbolizing this lower animal carnal nature that we can become entangled within. Father Christmas came from this guy. I can't remember his name now. He's a German. This is a German man. He's about this tall. He's about 5 foot tall, and he looked like a Father Christmas. So the Father Christmas character came from a cross between Odin and this gentleman. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Odin had a sleigh, also, and that's where that actually comes from. But this gentleman here, you see, he's got a massive bowl of porridge. What does he do? If you don't give him his treats for helping you, then he will curse you. If you don't give him food, if you don't let him self-indulge, self-gratify himself, then he will curse you and put a negative curse upon you and curse your life. And this is what we're worshipping as on the 25th of December. And Santa Claus comes down the chimney. This is so blue. It comes from purple to blue. Comes down the chimney every single month and rests. It comes down your chimney in your solar plexus region here, and he's to be risen back up. But it's riotous living that stops that from taking place. Right. So that's who Father Christmas comes from. This little gentleman, that little gentleman there. So just wanted to then speak about voltage. How did you raise that how would you then look to raise that energy back up? So you've got voltage, negative electric charge voltage, yeah, which is here. So you have voltage there. Yeah, so if you see this here, you can see that we're speaking about a voltage charge. So this is a positive charge voltage. Just trying to look for my slide. I've got an age during slide knocking around here, which is going to show a minus 440 negative electric charge voltage. Yeah, you see, so voltage, if you've got, without the correct voltage, what happens is a fire takes place. Yeah, so if you have negative positive voltage here, a fire will take place, a redshift fire will take place within. Yeah, then what happens is the 0, the 7, when you come into this realm, you come in as a 0 point. You come in at the 0 point, and that's 0, which is the 7, which is the green zone, which is here on the man, which is there, which is the plane of inertia. It's that plane of inertia. This is here. So this plane of inertia is inertia and acceleration. Yeah, inertia and acceleration. Inertia and acceleration really looks like that. That's what inertia and acceleration looks like. We don't have time in this one. We speak about it in the next one, which is what I've got here. Yeah, this is pressure mediation. Yeah, and that is and through that is how you access your higher state of being. But first, what happens is you have to be able to have the correct amount of voltage to do that. Now, the age urine slide that I'm looking for at the moment, which is down there, but I have many slides. Yeah, it is down there. Yeah, is up here at 440, but 400 is pH 14, top of the scale. Plasma. This would be your plasma, purple skies. Keep an eye out for them. I was speaking about that as well. Yeah, so at some point. So here, this is where you have to have voltage. You have to have voltage to climb. And this is why children get sacrificed, because they have high voltage. A child under the age of 5, before any integrity is lost, yeah, any integrity is lost, or when there is any low emotions that happen, lower the voltage straight away. And this is what happens with dark occultists. They understand the electrical nature of this reality, and the child contains the voltage. It's not about killing a child. So the Phoenicians, etc., used to sacrifice the children. It's not necessarily about sacrificing a child. It's about pure innocence. Yeah, electromagnetic, magneto-dielectric energy. Yeah, and the conversion of that and the stealing of that. Yeah. So you see here, that's what this says: electron stealer, and electron donor. Yeah. So the negative charge gives you an electron donor. So what happens is you are donating to. So you are able to renew, because if the cell, once we cannot create new cells, once we don't have the correct voltage and the correct elements and tissues that are required in order for us to create new cells, to create new life, yeah, then what happens is that this is when you get chronic and critical illness. They come into play when we are not able to do that. That's what happens. Yeah. So, like I said a second ago, it's not just about becoming healthy. It's when you carry this correct charge. When you carry this correct charge within you, yeah. Not only is it, what happens is you are able to renew the self, but as we grow, we're able to. The avatar is the organic original tech. Once we are able to then grow, and we are able to become more aware of the occult nature, the true workings of the field of this as a super being, you can then charge yourself, and then you can work on transmuting into a higher state of being. That's what happens. You can literally transmute. We literally transmute the self yeah, into that higher state of actual consciousness and a higher state of being, a higher state of higher reality, all in all. And that is the way that it goes. So even the pH chart, you see, is the red and the blue. So what I was going to say was, so when you've got this positive, you see, also when we're eating, you don't realize you could be eating stuff that's got a positive charge of 500. What it's doing is it's going to create a fire within. I'll show you how redshift works. So it's going to create a fire within you, and that fire is what you know as cancer. Yeah, and cancer then starts with the 3, doesn't it? Cancer starts with a C, which is the C, which is 3. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So cancer comes into play. Now, guess what happens? Hydrogen gets broken down, yeah, in our intestines from the foods that we eat, especially the good foods that we eat. So what will happen is hydrogen, which is blue shift, yeah, can come in and blow out the fire of redshift. Yeah. So blue shift can be used, you see, to blow out the fires of redshift. But when we are constantly aware of these two natures, we can access this green zone here. Once we access this green zone here, we never have to blow out any fires. We never have to blow out any fires. Yeah, we never have to convince ourselves of being better than we need to be. We've already been up here. So you're coming up here to drop back down into here. Once you drop back down into here, you're able to access a new higher form of electromagnetic energy. Yeah, if you conduct yourself correctly. By accessing that higher form, yeah, you would never have to use blue shift to cancel out red shift. You never have to do that anyway. You're in a perfect balance. You could even still consume some acidity. You can use acidity also as a springboard to help to radiate. Yeah, and that is why when you have the guys that drink aged during that's got cooked food in it, it's fiery still. It's fiery because it's got the fire of the redshift in it. And that fire is still playing a massive part in that. Yeah. So moving forward. So then what we then find is, I'll just actually read this next one. Traits. Yeah. So, right. 20 traits. Here are a psychopathy, right? 20 traits. So these are what happens to those that reside in lower redshift. Yeah. There are beings that are deliberately aligned with lower redshift, but you venerate it every single year, because when Christmas comes on Christmas Day, we self-indulge and make a whole big racket. So racket, riot, even wreck. It starts with a W, but it's wreck. Wreck is an art name. Look, racket, riot, wreck, redshift, 666. They told you to stay away from 666. Oh, 666 is devil worshipping. No, 666 is your mother. Yeah, it's you in your unenlightened state. Your mother is encased within 666, curled up 3.5 turns, waiting for you to self-realize within the 5 cycle. Yeah, if that doesn't happen, and we align with lower redshift, stagnated energy, self-serving and service to self, yeah, no action, yeah, total conscious action, yeah, which is just driven by lower desires, yeah. If we align with that constantly, what will happen is this. These are the traits of psychopathy. Now, I can say to you that 90% of people reside in redshift, and they don't even know that they are there. They don't know that they are a demon. Don't know it. Yeah, you don't know, because if you knew it, right, you couldn't do some of the things that we do, that we allow to happen. Yeah, and it's redshift being in this lower state that enables us to see others as separate to ourselves, and enables us to cause harm to others, even when you want someone to lose their job because they didn't do what you wanted them to do, right? So that they could have less to eat, right? So it says 20 traits: gild, superficial charm, grandiose, exaggerated high estimation of self, need for stimulation, pathological lying, cunning and manipulativeness. Yeah, so you're manipulative. Yeah, lies. What you know, when we tell lies, you see all these things create they create static, and they're creating a noise in the field. They are keeping, yeah, they are stopping the avatar from using from this flow. They are stopping you from your natural flow. You cannot. There is no natural flow. Yeah. All illness, disease, every bit of suffering that ever existed is born out of this. Right. Need for stimulation. So there is a need to be stimulated in redshift, and this is how they make money from you. You see, this one here is that I took all the other slides out. This is how they make money from. They make money from. You see, there's Pizza Hut, always going to be in redshift, always. But you're using your sense gratification, yeah, to knock you down like a domino. This is how the occultist works. The only time I ever look at a TV screen is to read the messages that the dark occultist is sending out to those with eyes to see, to other light occultists, etc. And they're sending the messages out to other dark occultists also. And what is in the middle is the profane in the middle, who is not aligned with his own thought and mind, because he believes everything. Everything is a belief. Oh, I've got my own beliefs, I have. But no, you haven't, because what's happening is you are being dictated to, and you are being mind controlled. You are dictated to and being mind controlled. So like I just said here, Pizza Hut, this is an advertisement. This is how it works. This is how the occultists, how they work on you. So you advertise Pizza Hut, but you see the red subconsciously. Yeah, you are aligning with this red. You align this red with Father Christmas. I've already told you. I already said that Father Christmas was this little 5 foot, named that this 5 foot dwarf, who, if you didn't please him by overfeeding him with this porridge, milk, butter, and all sorts of put in it, he would curse your life away. Him and Odin, yeah. And then there's a Coca-Cola link in there as well. You know what Coca-Cola is? That Coca-Cola is more redshift activity. So here, so you start off with this Pizza Hut, but you've been aligning with it all of your life. You started off with the lie they told you. That's why the Father Christmas was a lie. Somebody had to come to you and say to you, I'm sorry, that was a lie. We lied to you. Right. Pathological lying. This is a subtle realm. Your parents were taught, their personality was taught to lie to the child, to a child. Yeah. So then they come up with the taste test. Yeah, because it's all about taste. Yeah, when you're in redshift, you don't care about nothing but the taste. That's all you care about when you're in redshift. I had a post about it. And then because you're in redshift, there's a domino effect, because it's going to just knock you down. Everybody that's in redshift, everybody that's in this way, yeah, is being knocked down. The energies are being knocked down. Yeah, that's what's actually happening when we align ourselves in that area. So you can see that very clearly there with this. And then it's the same. The redshift is every single company. There's many companies. You know, your cigarette companies, lots of them. Your alcohol companies, your vodkas, your red, you know, your vodkas, your all of them. Your Bacardi, they have a bit of red in there. Your Budweiser, your Stella Artois. All these companies, yeah, are aligning with red. They align with redshift to do that. Yeah. So lack of remorse or guilt. Yeah. Shallow affect superficial emotional responsiveness, callousness and lack of empathy, parasitic lifestyle, poor behavioral controls, sexual promiscuity, early behavioral problems, lack of realistic long-term goals, impulsivity, yeah, impulsivity, irresponsibility, failure to accept responsibility for our own actions, and that's a massive one. It's massive, yeah. They are constantly sweeping it under the carpet. The stagnation never gets dealt with because people are taught to sweep the negativity away. So the fact that someone is jealous and greedy doesn't get highlighted, it gets swept under the carpet. This is what happens. It's getting swept away, totally swept straight underneath that carpet. Irresponsibility, failure to accept responsibility for our own actions. Many short-term marital relationships. So these are things that we see in our society. Many short-term marital relationships. Failure to accept responsibility, as I've just said. Juvenile delinquency, revocation of unconditional release, criminal versatility. So things that are on that list. Many things that are on that list we see on a day-to-day basis. These things are happening. They're all day-to-day happenings that happen within the realm that we have been within. The realm that we have been within is a Saturnian realm based on mostly lower redshift activities, which is what they're based around. Moving forward, so the bioelectric field is used, a tuning fork is what is used. So we're using a tuning fork, yeah, to immerse, work with the actual bio field. So I have some of that written down here. So it says fear has a pulsing, shaking. I do have a tuning fork. You all know what a tuning fork looks like. Yep. So fear has a pulsing. Shaking is a waveform moving through tissues. Waveform of plants is the same as a human. So the waveform of the plant is the same as a human. Yeah. So the fear has a pulsing, shaking. Yeah. That's going to stay in your field again. And there's lots of fear. Yeah. And then when that stays in your field, so it's walking around with you, and it's going to end up sinking back into you, and it's because it's distortion, it's going to distort you on a cellular level. Yeah. So right, traumatic events within life, yeah, creates this noise that then stays within the field of the individual. That's how it works. And then that noise that then sits within the field, you can see the noise here. These are the different noises aligned that they pick up. So they pick up the different sounds, yeah, and then they work out exactly where you're at, and you can also work out exactly how much trauma you've got inside of your field at any particular moment. At this point, what I'm going to do is stop this, and then I'll be going straight into doing the actual part 4 of this presentation. Peace, love, and senteness. See you.